Hey, I'm Lachie Smart, and 5 years ago today, I officially became the youngest pilot to have flown solo around the world. But there's more to it than that, and well, here's my story. So I guess the story begins right in my early life. My parents separated when I was 2 years old. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about that because hey, it meant double Christmases, double birthdays. But it did mean that I was spending a lot of time alone with adults. And so I guess that taught me to think a little bit differently to most young people. And as I got into school, I think that played out because I had a lot of other young people and some great friends around me who would come up with these fantastic ideas about starting a business or owning their first home by the time they finished high school. And I would think they were things that people should go for. I didn't understand why you wouldn't. But I would hear the excuses quite commonly of, I'm too young, it's too hard, I don't have enough money, not possible. I wanted to prove that these weren't limiting factors. They were just excuses that we came up with in our mind. And I needed to do something really big. And then it came to me. I was going to fly around the world solo. I found out that more people have gone to space and more people have climbed Mount Everest than have flown around the world solo. And here I am, just a 15-year-old kid trying to tackle this massive adventure. But that's what this was all about. But after my whole first year of planning, I can safely say that I basically had nothing done. I'm talking no aircraft, no sponsors, basically no flight experience, and no idea how I was going to get around the world. And so if I'm being really honest with you, that was when I wanted to give up. I knew it was important to persist for a little bit longer because a trip like this wasn't going to come easy. And over the next year and a half, we were able to get this trip to a stage where I could take off. And that's credit to the amazing partners and team I had around me. And this is my opportunity to say thank you to you as well. And so at 4:15 a.m. on the 4th of July 2016, I took off in my aircraft with the Hotel India Bravo Charlie, a Cirrus SR-22 over the Pacific Ocean. Over the next 54 days, I battled some of the craziest adventures that I'd ever imagined. Huge storms over the Pacific Ocean, crazy weather events in the United States, threats of arrest, thinking I was going to get shot down, massive dust storms, you name it, probably went through it. But more than anything, it brought me back to my original point, which is that we as a generation of young people are capable of achieving some incredible things if we're willing to put our minds to it. And after these crazy days of adventures, on the 27th of August 2016, I touched down at Sunshine Coast Airport to officially become the youngest person to have flown solo around the world. It was a huge moment. I was so happy to be home, so happy to have proven my point, to be back with my family and friends. But that's not where the story ends. I started into university the year after the world flight. And there I met some amazing people, and together we started some pretty cool organisations, like one of Australia's first youth-focused, university-based anti-domestic violence campaigns. But the next year, 2018, was when life turned for me a little bit more. In 2018, I moved to the United States. I wanted to continue my message that young people can achieve more than they're willing to give themselves credit for, and I thought there's no better stage than the USA for me to start my motivational speaking career. Throughout 2018, I trained with some amazing public speaking trainers and some great partners and mentors as well to try and develop my message further. But at the end of 2018, I was feeling pretty homesick. And that's when I get a phone call from my dad. Dad said, did I want to come home and work for him because the company needed some help and he knew I wanted to come back. Within 1 week, I packed out my whole life in the USA and I moved back to Australia to start as a sales representative with a medical company. Again, something I had no experience with, but I quickly figured that it was something that I loved doing. From there, I actually became one of the best performing reps in the company through a lot of hard work and climbed my way through the management chain to give me a whole lot of new skills. And so that leads me to where we are today. I've got bits of experience from world flights, from university, from living in America, from business. But now I'm looking to put together the next project. And this is where I want you to be involved.